In this video, I'm going to talk about CIS30A Lab 1 Exercise 18 and 19. So in Exercise 18, what we are required to do is to determine Kevin's average score given his score as 196, 80, 77, and 62. We are to use arithmetic operator to calculate the average score. So to write the program, I'm going to use Tawny IDE. And first, I would use test scores as a list. So I have a list called test scores, and in it, I would include all the scores that were given in the problem. Then next, what I will do is I would have a second variable, first variable, sum scores. That's going to hold the total test scores. And I would use the sum method here. So I simply use sum and pass. In the parameter, I would use the test scores list, so that way it would total up the scores. Next, I would determine the average score. So the next variable I have here is average scores, and that's equal to the sum scores divided by 5, as we have 5 scores in the list. Then I would print the average scores. So with that, what I have is when I run this program, it's going to tell me that Kevin's average score is 83. And we can add a string to it to show Kevin's average score, or we can simply just have it ran and yield 83. Next, I'm going to illustrate Lab 1 Exercise 19. In Exercise 19, we are to calculate Lisa's purchase of coffee, the total amount, and the discount that she's given. And coffee for less charges $10 per pound for coffee beans, and the store offers 10% discount to all customers. And Lisa has purchased 23 pounds of coffee. So in the program, what we need to do is we are to use the arithmetic operator to determine the discount, and we are to calculate the total of the purchase. Along with the calculation for the purchase and the discount, we're required to use compound operator and appropriate messages to show the discount and the purchase in our Python program. So to illustrate this, I have my program that's written in the text editor here in Tawny. And to start, I would first declare my variable customer purchase, which is 23 pounds. And the cost of the coffee is $10 per pound. So I have cost per pound is $10. And to use the compound operator, I have customer purchase is customer purchase times cost per pound. So I'm using the asterisk and the equal sign here to show that it is itself times the value in cost per pound, which it's going to take 23 times 10 to store in customer purchase. So it's going to update that with the new value after it multiplies. Next, I have discount is 10% of the customer purchase. So I would take 0.10 times the customer purchase, which we have updated in line 5 here. Then I print out the discount amount, and this I use the dot format method. I use the format method to control the position point to decimal. And if you didn't understand this, you would refer to my last video on how to implement format. So we would have the format to control our decimal point in the float value for the discount, so that way it will print only 2 decimal points. Next, I have total amount, and the total amount is going to be the customer purchase minus the discount, as this person receives the discount as she purchased more than the requirement. Then I would go ahead and print, and again I would use the format method to control the 2 decimal points in the price that I'm going to display. So when I run this program, it's going to show that the discount amount is $23 and the total amount is going to be $207, as we have to subtract the discount from the original purchase of 23 times 10. So in this program, what we did was we used variable, we use compound operators to calculate the purchase before the discount. We use arithmetic operator to calculate the discount value. We use a format method to show the value with 2 decimal points, and our print method. And lastly, we use the subtraction operator to calculate the total amount, as we would need to subtract the discount from the original purchase. And again, we would use format and print method to show the amount accordingly. So this concludes my exercise 19 of lab 1, and that would wrap up our lab for this week.